name is Rahma Hassan. I'm here as a researcher who've been working with the Feinstein International Center at Tufts University and the Center for Research and Development in the Drylands, both on two projects, but the one that brings us to the summer school is the project Resilience from Below, funded by the Australian Center for International Agricultural Research. So the broader space within which we host the summer school is within this project, Building Resilience from Below, and it is a concept about how we can bring in local constructs of resilience by drawing on what people do on their own. What are some of those flexible practices that pastoralists engage in during different times, including normal and times of crisis? What can we learn about the networks within which they're embedded in, the different individuals who provide real-time actions, and they're able to scan the environment and they're able to navigate different circumstances to enhance the responses or what people need to do. So those are what we call high reliability professionals. So this is the concept we highly draw on from this study. It is also embedded on studies from management and people who've studied other critical infrastructures like big electricity lines. But for us, the idea of the critical infrastructure is to look at a system and the different important points that are critical to prevent the system from collapsing. So there's this dread that pastoral communities and the individuals have from the system that prevent the system from collapsing. So if you were to think about what we are doing here at the summer school, other than also thinking about the new narrative for studying pastoralism, and also thinking about who are the future researchers, young upcoming researchers who are working on this topic from different disciplines. So you're thinking of the interdisciplinary approach, and what else can we do outside the classroom? I'm also at the University of Nairobi, IDS, Institute for Development Studies. What is this that we can do? So the idea of a summer school is also to have this focused 5-day session where we have different facilitators, researchers who've been working in these areas for many years, people who have published and have experiences over time and have seen the variability and the uncertainty we need to embrace in these regions. So I think there is a broader narrative that has emerged out of this work. It has not gone into many of these academic centers like universities. If you think about the region in Ethiopia, Somalia, so our students here are a mix from Kenyan universities, from Ethiopia, from Somalia, and others from the globe, including the US and Europe. So for us here, this is the first summer school. We're planting the seed. We hope to have many more ideas of how we can grow the network. We hope the network grows on its own organically, and ideally it's also to inspire students to start thinking back on some of these narratives, but also think about the policy questions that are beyond the room when we are here at Camp Simpiri. So we brought the summer school to the bush. We are grateful to the people we are partnering with, including SAR, and that helps us to also think about context-specific research so that we are out of the classrooms and the workshops in the big cities. To make it more interactive, student-led, participant-led, so there are methodologies that we have learned ourselves and we are, implementing in this summer school. So we have very few presentations, for instance, we have very few lectures, but of course we have spaces for students to deliberate, discuss, but we also have a couple of facilitators, or you can call them mentors, people who students can turn to when they have some questions about some of those topics. But then we also had a film. We watched the Battle for Laikipia just to center the question of land and how land is important for pastoral areas, but also to think about the broader political dynamics of within which pastoralism is transforming. What are the historical land questions that are in this region and the neighboring regions? What are some observations we make about conservation, for instance, and how pastoralists and mobility is affected? Who are the different actors, and who are the losers and winners? So you can think about it that way. We also have field work planned We have some exercises for communities and participants to engage in. We have a cultural night, and all these are supposed to bring a different kind of an experience for a student to think about pastoralism studies. So the summer school is also a practical way to do pastoral research. So we hope we continue being the center that inspires many more people to think about how to study pastoralism, because the changing of the narrative is also centered in how the methodologies we apply and how we listen to people's voices, but also draw those voices into reports or our research or our publications. I'm very optimistic about the changes that we can spur from here. We are not working in isolation. I have seen different organizations working towards pastoral development and policy change. We were just recently from the Pastoralist Leadership Summit. Other organizations are working with the pastoralist parliamentary groups. We have locally embedded pastoralist networks. So we are just coming in to join the movement, but we are also aware that the movement cannot get charged on its own. So at the team that we are here and all the people who work in these areas, we hope to bring the evidence that is easy for policymakers to make use of, but also ensure that we are part of the movement by supporting younger scholars who are able to draw on social media networks, but also, make declarations and be in the right spaces. So I'm aware that it's a tough challenge, but it's something we are all willing to work on and join others like us who are in the movement.